Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is our final ride with the Guardians, so I'm going to rank all 14 Guardians of the Galaxy ranked from the worst to the best. Coming in last place is Cosmo, a character that isn't really given much there to work with. He's a fun little side character, space dog. He does get a heroic moment at the end of Volume 3, but he's not really a top tier character to me, to be honest. Number 13, Adam Warlock, a character that had so much potential, but he's just a wasted side character plot device used in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, who gets some funny bits here and there, but overall, I think he could have been a lot better than he actually ended up being. Number 12, Kraglin. This is a Ravager who is given the powers of Yondu, and he drives the story forward better than the bottom two on this list. He gets some emotional moments, especially in Volume 3 where he sees Yondu. Same time, not very memorable character, not given a huge arc, but still a nice little touch in these movies. 11, New Groot. Now it's fun to see this character grow through the passage of time as baby Groot in Volume 2 to a full-grown Groot in Volume 3. It's fun to see that passage of time. Of course, baby Groot dancing is adorable, and in Volume 3 he's just a fun guy, but at the same time, not really given an arc, so I can't really place him all that high on the list. Kicking off the top 10, Mantis, a character that's a member of the Guardians that is revealed to be Star-Lord's sister, and I think in the holiday special in Volume 3 they allowed her to be in a bit more of her own story rather than just supported by the Guardians, as at the very end of Volume 3 you get that moment where she goes off and tells her own story, decides to figure out who she really is. Same time, not really given a big arc, but a fun character nonetheless. Number 9, 2014 Gamora, a character that is given quite a nice little arc in Volume 3. She was the version from Endgame, and she's in Volume 3 as the leader of the Ravagers, and I think they does a good job of having this arc of her realizing what the Guardians mean to each other, and why she's able to connect with them, why Oldher was able to connect with them better. At the same time, kind of a bit of like Adam Warlock, like a plot device, but still a good character in general. That brings us to Gamora, a character who isn't given the flashiest personality, so she might be on the back burner, but she's one of the more developed Guardians. In Volumes 1 and 2, she's given a motivation that's driven by her family, Nebula, Thanos, all that stuff. But in Infinity War, she's actually able to develop all that stuff, and I think it does a very good job at that, and she is a loyal member to the Guardians. While not being as flashy of a character, I think she's a good character in the Guardians of the Galaxy. Number 7, Nebula, and from here on out this list is really tough, because I think Nebula is most improved by the holiday special and Volume 3, as at the beginning she was just this ruthless anti-hero assassin, just driven by rage by Gamora and Thanos, but in an Endgame, the holiday special and Volume 3, she cares more about other people, changes and grows, and it's a full transformation arc. And so I just love what they did with this character in these films. And then we have Groot. This is a character that only appeared in one film and only says, "I am Groot," but it's so emotional. He's a guy that really cares about the other people in the Guardians of the Galaxy, so much so that at the end of the movie, when he makes that heroic sacrifice, says, "We are Groot," the movie gets away with it because it's such an emotional and satisfying moment, and so I just enjoyed what they did with this character, and I wish that this was applied to New Groot as well. Kicking off the top 5, Yondu, a side character in the original Guardians, is given a whole lot of development in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. He is a guy that's ashamed and broken of something he did in the past, kidnapping Peter Quill, and learns that he did something wrong while also kind of doing the right thing. He actually does care about Peter Quill, will go to great lengths to save him, and gets an awesome power whistling an arrow, this awesome action sequence in the middle of Volume 2. And when you get to the end and he has a funeral, it's so emotional, so I just love what they did with this character. Number 4, Star-Lord. Our leader of the Guardians is given a bunch of development throughout these 3 films. In the first film, he's just the guy that doesn't want to be the hero, but ends up forming this team, which he grows up loving. The second film dives deeper into the fact that he is searching for a family, and the third film, he's the one that makes the brave choices, the brave decisions, and splits up the team because he knows what is best for it. I just think this guy is very good at what he does in this movies. In third place, Rocket. This is a character that is given a whole lot of development in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. His backstory is incredibly tragic, gut-wrenching, and heartbreaking, and he's so tragic and broken, you can understand why he's such an obnoxious jerk for the entirety of this franchise. And I just love that Volume 3 was able to do that, elevated this character by so much, so I think Rocket is now a top-tier Guardian because of Volume 3. Our runner-up is Drax. Now, this character, I wasn't sure what they were going to do with him after Infinity War and Endgame, because he's driven so much by his rage to kill Ronan and Thanos died 2 times already. Ronan, of course, died already. And in Volume 3, he changes to close out his arc so well. He's able to be a father by the end of this movie. He deeply cares about other people, albeit being a stupid, dumb guy. He's still a good, great character. I love how Volume 3 closed out all the Guardians arcs, and to me, Drax was the best example of that. But in first place for me is Thor. This character has been a top-tier MCU hero since Phase 1. In that movie, the original Thor, he learns the importance of how to be a good king, a good royal person, and in Thor Ragnarok, when Taika Waititi injects a bunch of energy into the franchise, he, is given a more development. He fights his sister and is given a lot more of a lively personality. We've seen him depressed. He has faults, but he always finds a way to overcome them. And to me, in all of these movies, Thor has just been a great character, great addition to the Avengers, to the MCU. So he is my favorite Guardians of the Galaxy, even though he's not really in the Guardians of the Galaxy all that much. There you have it. That's my ranking of all 14 Guardians of the Galaxy. Down below in the comment section, share your ranking. Click that like button. Be sure to subscribe. Thank you guys so much for sticking around to the end, and I will see you in the next one.